There will be no battle of LA. Make room for Denver. The Denver Nuggets somehow twice in this playoffs have come back from 3-1 down. And in this series alone, they came back from 3 double-digit deficits in games 5, 6, and 7 to upset and shock the Los Angeles Clippers. They're heading to the Western Conference Finals to play the Los Angeles Lakers. Their first conference finals appearance in 11 years. I will get to dumping on the Clippers because I have a lot to say about the Clippers, but let me get to the Nuggets. Jamal Murray, this is your superstar coming out party. I've seen enough. Jamal Murray is a superstar. Give him a 90 on 2K. Do whatever you got to do. This man is a legitimate superstar. What he has done here in this playoffs is remarkable, and tonight he did it again. He dropped 40 in Game 7 against the supposed best team in the NBA and one of the best teams in the Western Conference. 40 points, 15 for 26 from the field, and was just lighting it up in the second half. And to think the Clippers were up 2 in the second half, 2 at the end of the halftime. Like, all right, the Clippers, they might win this here. And then Denver just came out blazing, just came out roaring, and the Clippers looked like they quit at the end of the first half. Murray was great tonight. He's the reason why this team won. You also got solid performances from Jokic. 16, 22, and 13. Are you kidding me? He was insane. And then you see good performances from Grant with 14. You had Harris with 14. You had this was team basketball. I'm starting to think any team with Paul George is going to lose. That's actually a good prediction to make. But amazingly, stunningly, shockingly, Denver came up. I can't wait for Magic's tweet. Great job by the Denver Nuggets, beating the Los Angeles Clippers in 7. What Denver did here in this series, what they've done this entire playoffs is remarkable. No one thought they'd be here at this point. Denver was a 20-1 at the beginning of the year to win the NBA title. They were 30-1 back in July, and somehow this team has fought and fought. They have clawed their way back in. Again, they were up down 3-1 to the Jazz. They were down 3-1 to the Clippers, and somehow they have pulled it off back-to-back times. And again, 3 10-point deficits at least that they came back from in Game 5, in Game 6, in Game 7. They were remarkable tonight, especially there in the third quarter as the Clippers, as they knock out the Clippers here. What a fantastic job by this entire Denver team. Jokic, Murray really showing off here in this playoffs, and it was just so. This team is so much fun to watch. It is the epitome. And Mike Breen mentions this, of team basketball. Everybody, it's kind of like the 04 Pistons. I think I heard somebody on one of my chat say this. 04 Pistons, where it's just a lot of guys just coming together, just all doing their part. I hope the Nuggets win the finals. If they do, fine. I'm up for. This is the year of the unpredictable. Sure, why not? Have Denver win their first title. Would this be their first title? I can't even remember. I think this would be their first title, but they may have won one before, and I'm just not remembering it. But for Denver to do this, for Denver to pull this off in 3 straight games, unbelievably. I mean, this has never happened that a team has come back from 3-1 twice, and they've done it to the Jazz. All right, fine, you can make an argument that should have been a close series, but they did it to the Clippers, the supposed best team in the NBA. All right, and here we go. I'm gonna go on the Clippers here. Congrats to Denver, great job. All right, let me get to the Clippers here. I'm a Heat fan, so I've been mainly focused on them, but this is crazy. Absolutely, they can't last with Lakers without AD with too much on. All right, I don't know at this point. But here we go. Let's get to the Clippers here. This is an embarrassment. What happened with the Clippers in the last 3 games? This is a team. All right, Chris Paul, the Chris Paul Blake Griffin experiment didn't work. There were things that didn't happen there. Imagine all the people who bet money on the Clippers winning. Yeah, I can imagine. And so think of all that. Look at all that. What was going on there with Paul George and Blake Griffin? Just didn't work, whatever. There were better teams. The Warriors rise. Okay. But then in the offseason, they get Kawhi and Paul George together. They get these 2 guys. They get these 2 top 10 players together. And the Warriors are gone, or at least they're injured and everything. Kawhi and George aren't LeBron and AD. So all of that happened. Kawhi Leonard, there's no Warriors to worry about. The only team they really have to worry about is Lakers. This is a conference finals guarantee. They have the depth. They have all the talent. This team was conference finals guaranteed. And they were up 3-1 in this series. And somehow, this team mentally was shot. This was the epitome of 1-2-3 Cancun basketball. It seemed, I don't know what it was, but the Clippers looked unmotivated. They looked uninspired. It was embarrassing for this team and for a fan base that has been dying for decades for you to get to this point. And in 3 straight games, you lay eggs? I mean, unbelievable here. And everybody tonight was awful for the Clippers. Everybody. Kawhi, 6 for 22, 14 points. And you know what? We've been talking about, is Kawhi the best player in the NBA? We've had talks. Usually it's LeBron, but then we wonder, is Giannis the best player in the NBA? Is Kawhi the best player in the NBA? Is Harden the best player in the NBA? Of those 4 guys, only one is still playing. That is your answer to who the best player in the NBA is. It is still, in year 17, LeBron James. But Kawhi tonight, what a disappointment. And we know this guy can show up in the postseason. We know he can break the 2-time NBA champion. 14 points, 6 for 22 from the field tonight. He was awful. Paul George, pandemic P. 10 points, 4 for 16 from the field. He was awful. Nobody else. It was up to Montrez. Montrez was carrying this team tonight with 20 points. But you had Lou Williams 3 for 11. You had Beverly 4 for 7, whatever. Zubac 2 for 5. Morris 2 for 9. They shot 37% from the field. The Clippers, and it just amazed me how bad they were in the second half. The Clippers scored 32 points in the second quarter. They scored 33 in the second half. They scored 1 more point in the second half than they did in the entire second quarter. What the heck happened? I'm trying to understand how this great team fell apart like this. And look, does this mean they have to blow it up? No, I don't think so. But there's one aspect. But Kawhi, Paul George, if they want to come back, I'm guessing they're going to come back. I don't know what their contract situation is, but let's say they come back next year. Lakers and Celtics. We could be getting that finals now. The full steam ahead for the Lakers here, but let's get to the Clippers. There's one change I do think they need to make. Imagine blowing a 3-1 lead. Oh wait, it's happened before, but I think there's one change the Clippers need to make. I think it is time to talk about getting rid of Doc Rivers. Doc Rivers, an all-time great coach, champion, well-respected in the NBA. All that is fair, and I love Doc Rivers. But this is 7 years now with the Clippers. 7 years since he got traded from the Celtics to the Clippers. No conference finals appearances. With a team that has been destined for at least one time to get to the conference finals with Chris Paul and Blake Griffin. I find that didn't work, but they came close. They were down 3-1 in that series 5 years ago. 5 years later, now they have Kawhi and Paul George. There's no excuse, and you're up 3-1 again, and you have 3 double-digit leads, and you blow all of them. At what point does Steve Ballmer sit there and realize it's just not going to work? That as great of a coach as Doc Rivers might be, for some reason, him and the Clippers just isn't working. And he'll get another, if you fire him, he'll get another job. I don't worry about him. I just don't think this situation right now is working. What's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting something different. We've been watching Doc Rivers coach this Clippers team for 7 years, and nothing has changed. They've gotten slightly better, but never make it to the conference finals. And again, this team was destined to make the conference finals. So I absolutely think that it is time for the Clippers to move on. And I don't want to do it. I thought about it. I thought about it. I didn't want to come here and tell you, but I think it's time for them to look forward, to look ahead and just be like, this isn't working. Are we going to give them another chance here? Are we going to give them year 8? So I think it is time. I think since Paul George left the Pacers, he's been overrated. He did have a horrifying leg injury with the Pacers. How did the Clippers blow a 3-1 lead again? Clippers need to move to San Diego, get out of here. Dodgers winning, by the way. How did the Clippers blow a 3-1 lead? They just got the Nuggets, exploited them on defense, and the Nuggets are matchup problems. I'm going to make this prediction right now. Old Takes Exposed. Save this. Old Takes Exposed. Save this. Get ready? Nuggets are winning game 1. Write it down. Nuggets are winning game 1. That's not a guarantee, but that is a strong, strong prediction. I'm taking the Nuggets to win game 1 here. 5 picks for Paul George. 5 picks about Clay and Draymond were worth. And that one, what got more value? Clay and Draymond is more value than Paul George. And George is a great player in the regular season, but yet again in the postseason, he let them down again. Pandemic P. No more playoff P. It's pandemic P. Look here. In the third quarter, it was still 64-63 Denver. And then Murray makes a 3, makes it 67-63. And then Murray was just on fire in this game. And then another 3, I think that's to Grant to make it 70-63. The Nuggets are underdogs. I do think the Nuggets are underdogs, and they deserve to be underdogs. I think the Lakers deserve to be the favorites here. This game got so out of hand so quickly, and Montrez gets blocked, and the Nuggets go down the court. It's a 6-point lead with 4 minutes to go. Murray to Jokic to Millsap for the 3, and then it's a 9-point game, and from then on, the Nuggets just took it over. This is a 1-point lead. This is a 1-point game midway through the half, and then the Nuggets just took over, and then there's another dunk to make it 8 points. There were parts of the fourth quarter Jokic wasn't even playing. The Denver was ahead so far that they weren't even playing Jokic. They weren't even playing their second-best player. I am blown away. I am stunned in a year that has been ridiculous. This might be the most ridiculous thing yet, other than a pandemic. And then, oh gosh, they just blew him away there. And then the fourth quarter was insane. Jamal Murray Finals MVP. I wouldn't be surprised. Murray is insane. He is, if they make it. And then they were up 8, and then 9:43. Murray with that beautiful shot to make it 10. All right, so I'm taking the Nuggets to win game 1. Then they have all the momentum. This team is a team of fighters. They never, ever give up. And the Lakers LeBron struggles in game one. We've seen it twice here in this playoff. LeBron struggles in game one for some reason. So I'm taking Denver here to win game one. I'm still taking the Lakers to win the series, but Denver wins game one. In fact, I'm calling it right now. This series goes 7. I'm calling it right now. Both conference final series go 7. I'm sorry. I'm pumped up right now. I'm screaming. I'm yelling. I'm getting loud. Clippers were overrated. Yeah, I'm looking at it now coming from a Celtics fan. Oh, he's so good. He's so good. And by the way, sorry about your Celtics tonight, man. But this is insane to me. And if you're Steve Ballmer here, what are you thinking? You're like, this was the year we were guaranteed to make the conference finals. I am sorry to all of you Clippers fans out there. You don't deserve this. Decades of irrelevancy, a racist owner, and now you finally have hope, you finally have promise, and this happens. I am so sorry. Always being the Lakers' younger brother. Nuggets versus Boston. Taco Fall versus Boy. Frankie, I'm speechless. I'm almost speechless, but I have to keep talking here. I have to just get all these words out. So yeah, I think it's time for the Clippers to move on from Doc. And then I don't know what they do for me. I mean, I'm assuming, I don't know what Kawhi and Paul George's contract status is. I'm assuming they're staying there. Now maybe in the next few weeks we'll hear Kawhi and Paul George went out, but I don't know. But I'd imagine they'd stay together. Kawhi wants to stay in LA. It's just, this was Lakers, Clippers. We were bound since October. Imagine being up 3-1. The Clippers better head to Seattle because that's where Microsoft is. I don't think they're going to Seattle. LA's a pretty big market. I say that somewhat sarcastically. The Nuggets are just the perfect team for a 3-1 series. They're a group of fighters. He has never give up. Murray's got the heart of a champion. All right, even though he's not a champion yet. Jokic is a great addition. He's a great player as well. Can't wait for Magic's comment. Kawhi 3 years. Trade Paul George. I'm not willing to go that far yet. I mean, because Paul George is, and by the way, most completed seasons with no conference finals appearance. The Clippers are now the only active team in the 4 major sports that has 50 years of being in a professional league and not one conference finals appearance. Happy 50th anniversary, Clippers. 2 years now. Quite 2 years. Okay, Lakers Nuggets is gonna be a hell of a series. I think so because I at first I wasn't thinking that, but you know what? The way trade Kawhi, I'm not doing that. Kawhi is still a top 5 player in this league. He just had a bad series. I read somebody say, this is going to ruin Kawhi's legacy. I don't think so. Kawhi's a 2-time champion. Kawhi's a Hall of Famer. Kawhi's put on legendary series with San Antonio and with the Raptors. This was just a bad night. Now, why it happened, I don't know, but this was just a bad night for him. No more Kawhi is the best in the world, Bong. But man, so another thing that comes out of this, Paul George for Jaylen Brown and Kemba. No, ouch, Clippers, ouch indeed. And again here to the another thing. I'm just saying a bunch of things right now. I don't intend on making sense, but you know what? I just have to. Kawhi or George for Ben Simmons. Oh no. I mean, at least those guys can shoot. The Lakers now, no excuse. Now it's on to the Lakers here. We have the Bucks, no excuses. Clippers, no excuses. Lakers now, no excuses. The top 2 teams in the NBA, gone. It is up to you now. The Lakers are far and away the best team out of any of these 4 teams. Now, that doesn't mean the Nuggets that doesn't mean they're going to win the title, but they are far and away the best team. They have the most talent, and they have the best player in the NBA. It's time to show up. It's time to win that 4th championship, LeBron. Kawhi should have stayed in Toronto. I mean, yeah, but he never wanted to be in Toronto anyway. You think the restart hurt a lot of good teams like Bucks and the Clippers and Raptors? Maybe, but at the same time, all of these teams were the exact same. All of these teams took 4 months off and came back. So it's not like this thing didn't give anybody an advantage or a disadvantage. No one wants Paul George. I don't know. I think the Knicks would probably take Paul George right now. Kawhi should have come to the other LA team. He wanted to be with the Clippers for some reason. I mean, the LeBron, Kawhi, Lakers would be insane. Lakers have the 2 best players left in the playoffs. Yes, 100%. No disrespect to Tatum. No disrespect to Jimmy Butler. No disrespect to Murray and Jokic. The Lakers have the 2 best players in the playoffs. That's why there is no excuse here for the Lakers. If you want to win this title, it's now full steam ahead. You don't have to worry about Kawhi. You don't have to worry about Giannis. Beat this Denver team. But it is not easy. This Denver team is a bunch of fighters, as I keep saying. Beck Rivers will get fired. I'm starting to think that. It's a Kardashian curse all over again. Stop dating the Kardashians. Stop it. They are a crazy. For some reason, you date them and you become crazy. Look what's happening to Kanye. Okay, he was always that crazy, but look what's happening to him. Trade Paul George for LaMelo. Oh gosh, that's the worst idea. If the Lakers lose, is AD leaving? That would be that is AD. Now AD is a free agent. It's something to think about here, but I'm not willing to guarantee it here. Apologies, by the way, to my family who I've probably woken up because I have been screaming and yelling for 15 minutes. But I'm sorry, my emotions right now are at an all time. Lakers have 2 best resume players, but Jokic and Murray are playing better right now. I can buy that, but don't ever doubt LeBron's ability to turn it up. Kawhi's officially not a clutch player. No. He made a pretty big buzzer beater last year, even though it was kind of lucky. He made a pretty big buzzer beater last year, and he carried that Raptors team. I think he's still clutch. So yeah, while we keep going here, he's the hip to watch. Okay, bye, thanks. Alright, I should point out, if you're new to this channel and you like what you see, make sure you subscribe down below for more baseball, basketball, football content just like this every single day. Covering this game here today, we will be covering Heat Celtics Game 2, and we'll be covering Nuggets Lakers Game 1. So Heat Celtics Game 2 Thursday, Nuggets Lakers Game 1 Friday. We'll be covering that, covering both of those games. We'll be covering the NFL season. We'll be covering the baseball postseason as that comes up. There's so many things going on right now in the sports world. I can't handle all of it, but we're trying everything we can to bring you all the best. So we will have that. So we have those videos coming up in the next couple of days. So get ready for all that. Again, we have home run videos, we have touchdown videos, NBA buzzer beater videos, that's coming out tomorrow. So many other things that we're doing right now on the channel. So stay with us here for more content just like this. Again, if you like this, make sure you subscribe down below as we keep growing here. LeBron will be LeBron. I agree. Paul George will be traded for Buddy Shield on a first-round pick. Bye, Caden. How long does LeBron have left in the NBA? I don't know, but you know what? Until it is, I'm not going to be the one to say when LeBron's going to fall off a cliff. It's going to happen eventually. But people can stop comparing LeBron and Kawhi. Yeah, that's over. Kawhi's great. LeBron's better. I wish Luka won round 1. That would have been amazing. The invincible cyborg gimmick is dead. 4 or 5 years. All right, yeah, that makes about sense. What is he, 35? So he was 18 in 2003. So he's 34, 35 now. Yeah, you can get about 4 or 5 years. I think is about the fair amount of time that you can say. But again, right now I'm not going to put that because he is one of the 4 best players we've seen in the history of this NBA, and I'm not going to be the person who says this is when LeBron is done. I'm not going to be that kind of person. But what a stunner! What a stunner! And I didn't even get to watch Game 6 because that was an NFL day. But I was sitting there going, all right, the Clippers are probably going to win this series, and the Nuggets just come back, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what is happening here? And I had this sinking feeling all day long. I had this sinking feeling that something was going to happen with the Clippers. I was just like, I want a Lakers-Clippers series, but my gosh, everything is set up for the Clippers to fail here. And amazingly, it happened again. Denver came out just guns a-blazing in the third quarter, and the Clippers, here's the thing, the Nuggets weren't even that good in the fourth quarter. If the Clippers had played average in the fourth quarter, the Clippers would have won the game. But they didn't. The Clippers shut down, the whole team shut down, and that's embarrassing. I don't know if that's coaching or just, I just can't believe that everybody would have that bad of a night together. Imagine if Lakers blew 3-1 against the Nuggets. Then this year has officially gone haywire, and then it already has, but what the heck. Also, new rule, play every NBA playoffs in a bubble from here on out. The NBA bubble is amazing. The bubble, for some reason, brings out the best and the craziness and wild. Bubbles every year. I'm going for it. Bubbles. Hashtag permanent bubble. Nuggets versus Celtics. Again, that could happen now. Right now, if you put gun to my head right now, first of all, I'd ask you to stop, and then second, I would say Lakers and Celtics. But do not count out this Denver team. I've been thinking about it, but do not count them out. Kawhi was 1-11 on contested field goals in the second half of Game 7. It's 1 for 11. But I mean, I expect a little bit better from him. All right, so Kawhi's talking with the media right now. I'm assuming he's going to say nothing, because that's just what he does. Kawhi 14, 6, and 6. It's just amazing. If Lakers blow a 3-1 lead, everybody got to go. I don't know, maybe Vogel, because I just feel like Jason Kidd hiring waiting to happen. But the parody bubbles bringing about is great. Yes, more bubbles. That's the one good thing COVID brought us. Bubbles. But no, LeBron doesn't have to go. AD did. And I'm not saying that Kawhi and Paul George have to go. I think they should stay. I don't think it's time to blow up the Kawhi Paul George Clippers after 1 year. But I think it's time to blow up Doc Rivers. I think, or not literally, but figuratively, I think it's time to move on from that. Because I just think there's, and maybe it's just, he's the common thread between all of these 7 years of Clippers failing to make the playoffs. Because Donald Sterling wasn't even here for all. Donald Sterling was only here for the first year. Steve Ballmer wasn't here for all those 7 years. So Doc is the common thread between all those Clippers teams. Do you like hiccups? No. Who likes hiccups? But I just think the Clippers have to maybe move on and realize that it's just time. And I'm wondering here, is Doc Rivers trending on Twitter? Are people going crazy on Doc? I'm sure people are going crazy about the Nuggets. I mean, I was just sitting there in the second half, just mouth agape. Like, this is really happening. What do KD, Curry, and Kawhi have in common? Well, they all have championships. So, and none of them are the best player in the NBA. None of them are the best player in the NBA. It's still Kawhi is trending, Murray, Jamal, LeBron is trending. Yeah, LeBron. No excuses right now, my man. No excuses. It's time to win that championship. I don't know if anybody's saying anything about Doc Rivers. That's just something I've been thinking about. I'm just like, man, 7 years of this. So, and maybe I'm wrong. Tell me guys what you think. But I think it's time for them. I think they're gonna have to move on. Maybe not. Maybe they'll just say next year. But it's just like you have the only reason I'm comparing him to Brett Brown is this. How many years of something do you just sit there and watch the same thing over and over again until you throw your hands up and go, this isn't going anywhere? Marvin Lewis, same thing. But Doc Rivers is better than Marvin Lewis because Doc Rivers has a championship. But Marvin Lewis was just year after year pathetic, and eventually the Bengals were just like, we're done. And the Warriors have the Nuggets have won 6 straight elimination games. Murray and Joker look good. Nuggets in 6. Yeah, they look fantastic. Murray again is a superstar. Jokic, I guess he already is, but the Nuggets are a team to look out for here. The Nuggets are definitely a team to look out for here in this final series. And do not pencil the Lakers in. Do not, whatever you're sitting there, all y'all sitting there, do not pencil the Lakers in for the NBA Finals. Denver is going to give them a fight. They're going to make it tough. I think the series goes 7 games. They're not going to lay down. They're going to push them to the limit here because this team is a talented group. This team is a resilient group, and again, they have probably 2 superstars as along with the Lakers' 2 superstars. So I think we are in for a fun NBA Western Conference Finals here and a great Eastern Conference Finals because if you watched that Eastern Conference Finals today, you were blown away at that Celtics Heat game 1, which was one of the best games of this playoffs, which is really saying something because this playoffs has just been filled with great games over and over again. But I don't know, man. I'm having a hard time putting it all into words. I'm just stunned. I am shocked. I guess I can't say I have a hard time putting it into words because I just put it into words for 20 minutes. But I am stunned that the Los Angeles Clippers, who we all had penciled in for the Western Conference Finals, a team that I thought was going to the... I think I picked them to win the title this year. They were such a talented group, and they were a deep group. And that's the thing I kept mentioning. This team is so deep that I just felt like they were going to be such a legitimate contender going forward. And for them to fall apart here in 3 straight games and to play like 1-2-3 Cancun basketball, to just have this like just nonchalant attitude about it, really stunned me and really shocked me. And I just can't believe that a Kawhi Leonard-led team would have that happen to them. And Kawhi has lost championships before. I mean, he has. But this is... anybody think like Kawhi is going to say he has an injury and he's going to sit out all of next season? And then ask to be traded. I don't know what's going on here. I don't know what happened here with the Clippers. And again, this is a great NBA team, and they really struggled here at the end of this series. And I still don't know why that is. I guess one reason, the Nuggets were hitting all their shots and the Clippers weren't. The Nuggets were hitting every one of their shots late, and the Clippers stopped. And everybody, it's not just like, you can live if one of your guys stops shooting. When everybody at once stops shooting. When Montrezl Harrell, and I like Montrezl, but when Montrezl Harrell is your best player on the floor, on a team that has Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, that is a problem. And we saw that here with the Clippers. So I don't know, man. I don't know how to process this. I cannot believe that we have a Lakers Nuggets Western Conference Finals here. Skip Bayless said he'd rather have Taco Bell than be a Clipper next year. Tell Skip Bayless he is irrelevant. I don't know, man. I just can't believe this. I can't believe this. Oh my gosh, we have the Clippers. The Clippers are out. Steve will move on 2 things tomorrow. First, Doc Rivers will not be the coach of this team. Second, this team will not be named the Clippers when the new stadium opens. I don't buy it. Why would? I guess I've heard stuff about they would change their name. Why would they change their name? Like, do you really just want to really move on from? I guess. Look, when I think of the Clippers right now, I don't think of Donald Sterling. I don't think of him anymore. But I think Clippers is fine. I don't understand. The Clippers said they're open to changing the team name. So, yeah, I wouldn't. I don't know if I'd do that. I mean, there are some people who are open to the idea. I wouldn't do that. But yeah, that's just not where I'm at right now. But yeah, I do think it's time to move on from Doc Rivers because it's been 7 years of this. It's been 7 years and no conference finals appearances. It's just so disappointing. I cannot believe that Denver is in this position right now. I cannot believe Denver is in this. What a performance. What an amazing performance by Denver here. Again, the Denver Nuggets at the beginning of the year were 20-1 to win the NBA title. There were other teams that had better odds, and I'll be able to pull it up here if my computer stops freezing, but it looks like it has. But there were other teams. There were other teams that were better. There were other temes that were ranked higher than Denver. So here are the list of teams. The Clippers were ranked higher. I mean, we saw that. The Lakers were ranked higher. Okay, that's fair. The Bucks were ranked higher. The Rockets had better odds. The Sixers, oh gosh. The Warriors, which yeah, but I guess didn't Clay get hurt after game 1 or Curry? No, Curry got hurt after game 1. That was basically it. Utah was ranked higher. Oh gosh. And that was it. So yeah, there were 7 teams that were ranked ahead of there were 8. Is that 7 or 8? There were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There were 7 teams ranked ahead of Denver in terms of the odds at the beginning of the year, and now Denver is one of the 4 teams last. Clippers should change name to the Failures. Yes, they want to move on from Clippers. The brand has not been relevant. That name rebranding is needed. I guess that's kind of a fair point. And Michael Malone, what Denver get that man an extension? What a coaching job he has done. Back to back. So maybe they could rename it. I don't know, but I don't know if I'm willing to do that. So we got about 3-4 minutes. I mean, unless you guys want to keep talking, unless you guys want to keep commenting, then we'll wrap things up. But if you guys want to keep talking, please go ahead here. I am again floored. I am stunned. I am shocked. I am amazed that this has happened. That the Denver Nuggets outshot the Clippers in Game 5, in Game 6, and Game 7. That the Clippers seemed lost. That everything the Clippers were doing in the first 4 games, it seemed like they completely forgot about it. And I thought in the Clippers were in a good position after Game 7, or the Clippers were in a good position after in the second at halftime. At halftime, I'm like, okay, this Clippers team they've got potential here. This is going, and then they completely and utterly fall apart, stunningly and shockingly. And wow, I am amazed. I'm just floored that we are in this position right now. The Nuggets have, dang, my guy, both of your predictions were wrong today. Yeah, they were wrong. I had the Celtics and I had the Clippers, and both of them were wrong. You're right. I shouldn't bet on anything. Nuggets have arrived. Yeah, they have. They certainly have arrived. Oh, what do you mean? If you're wondering my predictions, I guess I told my predictions were Celtics and my predictions were Clippers, and both of them are wrong. And yeah, it's just embarrassing. But I mean, yeah, you can't get them all wrong. You can't get them all right. I just cannot believe this happened to the Clippers here. Marcellus Wiley, delete your Twitter account. Oh gosh. Oh boy, I can't stand him. Clippers Nation all day. Kawhi is a goat. Kawhi was carrying. He only had 2 bad games. Yeah, I get it. I get it that he only had 2 bad games, but those 2 bad games, you needed him. You needed him, and tonight he was really bad. I'm not saying get rid of Kawhi. Obviously, I'm not saying that. He's too talented, and Paul George. But that's got to be such a devastating moment as a Clippers fan when you just sit there and you see your best, everybody just stop, and the 2 guys that you really need to rely on both fell apart there late. That's got to be devastating. PG sold. What is Hockey Bracket looking like? I have no idea. Heat Celtics is a close call. It is. Heat Celtics is a very close call. 2 evenly matched teams. I think the Lakers are better than Denver, but they're like I was hearing Mike Breen say, "Oh, the Clippers just ran into a better team." I don't think that at all. I think the Clippers are a better team than Denver, but Denver played better in the series. So I think if you look at the Clippers, the talent that they have, the Clippers are obviously better. But for some reason, in the last few games, they fell apart. It's PG, you can agree, Kawhi can't do everything. No, I know Kawhi can't do everything, and Paul George has been a liability for so much of his playoff postseason career, and he was a big liability in this postseason in so many games. So yeah, PG is a huge fault. But yeah, if there's a blame chart in terms of players, it's probably Kawhi. It's probably PG first and Kawhi second. But if you're PG, you're just sitting there going, oh gosh, you think Kawhi should have left the Raptors? No, he should have. He didn't want to be with Toronto. I would have understood if he. I thought he wanted to stay. I mean, I would have completely understood if he wanted to stay with Toronto. But he never wanted to leave. He never wanted to be there. Clippers took a whole L in that trade. Yeah. But look, they still have a great player, and you could still make something good out of this. This is not like chicken bleep. It's still chicken salad. It's still you can still. There's still so much talent with this NBA team. With the Clippers, with Kawhi, with Paul George. You still have a very deep team. Tell him his mouth to take PG overall down to an 80. Yes, those are the instructions. Put PG's rating down and move Jamal Murray's rating all the way up. I'm not saying make him a 99, but certainly give him a bump after this playoffs, the way he's been playing. The Lakers won the season series against the Nuggets 3-1 this year. What do you think is next for the Rockets? A new coach, which I think is good. D'Antoni, same thing. D'Antoni, it's just like, how many years? I don't know how long he's been the Rockets coach for. I'd like to say like 4 or 5 years or something like that. And for some reason, I guess, how long was D'Antoni the coach for the Rockets? He may have been a coach for longer than I thought. I thought he was the coach in like 2016 or something like that. But yeah, he stepped down. By the way, the NBA has locked in November 18th for the draft. So there's that. Mike D'Antoni was the coach for 4 years. And I don't know if I guess he decided that he was going to resign. Maybe Morey pushed him out. I don't know, but he was the one who announced he wasn't coming back. So, yeah, I guess you could stay. I guess you could stay with Harden and Westbrook, but they just have to learn how to shoot better, like more efficiently, and try to find a better coach. Frankie, you know how PG said Damian Lillard shot that bad shot, but PG airballed? Yeah, I don't want to hear from Paul George anymore. I really don't. Stop with the playoff P stuff. Just shut up. Just shut up. You're a great player. I admire how resilient you are for coming back from that leg injury, but in a big spot, you're trash. So I'm done with PG for now. I don't want to hear from Paul George anymore. Boy, I can't. How did this happen? The Clippers are out. They're showing the highlights here. The Clippers are out. Denver is the first team in NBA history to win 6 straight games when facing elimination. They've won 6 straight. The Rockets ain't got a center. Yes, they could very much use a big man, but they want to keep doing the small ball lineup. And the thing about small ball, I like it when it works and I hate it when it doesn't work. So yeah, it'd be nice if you got a center, but they don't want to do that. They just want to stick with their small ball lineup, but it's not going to go anywhere. I don't feel like it's going to go anywhere. I feel like it's going to be eventually in the playoffs. You need a big guy. You need somebody to step up, and I'll be happy if anyone other than the Lakers wins. I'm actually rooting for the Lakers if I had to root for a team because the Lakers is the best story. Although I'm trying to think, the Lakers is the best story. With Kobe's passing, this is the best story. LeBron winning his fourth title with his third different team. But Denver's an amazing story too. This underdog team that's just resilient. The Heat is a great story as well. I feel like Jimmy Butler coming in there. Actually, it's a decent story. I don't know if it's a great. Boston return to glory. The rise of Tatum. So yeah, I think the 2 best stories are the Lakers. The two biggest best stories are the Lakers and the Nuggets. Those are the 2 best stories coming out of this title. And yeah, I don't know about anybody else. So, Lou Williams, 7.6 assists. What happened, dude? What happened to being the best 6 man off the bench? Westbrook is terrible at shooting 3. They should have kept Chris Paul. Yeah, but that also wasn't working. You came to a point when you realized that Chris Paul and Harden thing, for whatever reason, whether it was they didn't like each other, that was not going to work either. So, you took a chance at Westbrook, and he's a great offensive player, but he's terrible at shooting. You heard how the Clippers coach said they were going to win it all for Kobe? No, the Lakers can win it all for Kobe. The only team that can win it all for Kobe is the Lakers. Or for the Lakers is Kobe. Or for Kobe is the Lakers. PG is 1-3 in his career in Game 7. The other thing about the Clippers I want to get on, and Mark Jackson pointed this out near the end of the game. The Clippers were inconsistent a lot of points in this year. They didn't play with each other a lot, but everybody felt like, okay, once this team in the playoffs, they'll be able to move it into a high gear. These guys are talented enough that they'll be able to overcome the awkwardness they've had regular season not being able to play together. And that didn't happen. Like in the big spot, they shut down. Hey, Clippers, good news. You can leave Disney World now. That is the one positive for all of these players, is that you don't have to go back to Disney World. I love Disney World. I've been there many times. It's a wonderful place. But I am not interested in staying there for 3 months. Come on, man. You got to go with the Nuggets. Don't ride the Lakers. No, I have to pick the Lakers right now because the Lakers are the better team. I have to ride with them. But I'm picking the Lakers in 7. I'm picking Denver to win Game 1 because Denver's offensive... What's the word? Doc Rivers has 8 Game 7 losses, the most of all time. No other coach has more than 5. But yeah, I'm taking the Lakers in 7, but Denver's going to fight with them. So, Oh my gosh. I'm still having a hard time. Oh man, gosh, and Scott Van Pelt is bringing it up. Yeah, the best player in the face of the NBA is still LeBron James. It is not changed. It is not different. It's LeBron. Dodgers almost blew it again, but we won. Good job for the Dodgers. Good job that they kept it up here. LBJ. Yeah. LeBron, man. LeBron. Year 17, he's back in the conference finals. And how many conference finals has he been to? The Clippers haven't been any. How many is he? 1, 2. I think 1, 2. And then he made like 8 in a row. So what is he? Like this is like his 11th? He's insane. He is a ridiculous. He's a beast. He's a total beast. I love watching him play, and he's an unbelievable talent. And goodness gracious, he's the best player in the NBA. The Lakers is not going to win if he scores 13. No, yeah, he's going to need to put on the Jets, but I trust LeBron. I trust that he's going to be able to put on a better performance than 13. LeBron or Danny DeVito? LeBron. The Kawhi's legacy took a legacy. Okay, I've heard this from a couple of people. Kawhi's legacy took a hit. Why? Kawhi's a 2-time champion. Explain this to me. Kawhi's a 2-time champion. He's won with 2 different teams, San Antonio and Toronto. Why is it... All right, if you want to sit there and go, okay, he made the wrong choice from going to Toronto to the Clippers. Okay, I mean, considering that Toronto... But here's the thing, Toronto and the Clippers ended up in the exact same spot, losing the conference semifinals. So I don't understand why Kawhi's still a Hall of Famer. Kawhi's still one of the best of all time. I don't understand why, like, now Kawhi's legacy... Yeah, this was a bad loss. But Kawhi already has a ring. If Kawhi hadn't won a ring, then we could talk about this. But Kawhi's won 2 rings. I mean, Paul George's legacy is getting more and more destroyed by the day. I think the winner of the Eastern Conference Finals will win it all. I don't know. Kawhi, Kendrick Perkins talking or Magic tweets more cringe. Kendrick Perkins talking, because Magic tweets are unintentionally funny. Kendrick Perkins talking is just awful. Kawhi's still only 28. Yeah, Kawhi's got years left. Why would Kawhi stay in Toronto if he didn't want to? Exactly. But I guess the only thing was, okay, this team just won the title. You have a chance to win more titles. Are you really going to leave the team you just won a title with? But he wanted to get out of there. And he, I don't know how he feels about that right now. I mean, but you know what? Again, this Clippers team is not like, this is not a Clippers team that you need to blow up. This is not a Clippers team that you need to destroy. This is not a Clippers team that you need to, ruin. Social media has ruined everything. Every year has to be perfect. I hate millennials. No patience whatsoever. I can agree. I kind of agree with that. Social media is awful, and yeah, millennials. PG can't be trusted in the playoffs. I agree, and we've known this. We've known this for years now. But this was the worst example of it. I feel like even worse than when he was with Indiana. Kawhi better than LBJ, because LBJ been to a lot of finals, but only won 3, so you can say Curry gonna pass on. No, I think LeBron's still better. LeBron's still better than Kawhi. LeBron's still an all-time better player than Kawhi. LeBron right now is a better player than Kawhi. The Warriors are gonna make things interesting next season. If everybody's healthy, if Curry's healthy, sure, but they don't have KD. And I'm trying to figure out how good are they going to be without KD. And the guys are a little older, and Clay's coming off a terrible injury, so I'm not willing to give that up yet. Yeah. It's just, yeah. Ah, boy. But we'll see how it is. How Kawhi locked him down. Yeah, Kawhi has, but like, I'm just looking at it overall. I mean, LeBron's still playing, Kawhi isn't. LeBron is just slightly better than Kawhi. He has just a little bit more talent, and there's nothing against Kawhi. It's just Nikola Jokic, by the way, had COVID. So, you know what? Some people can get COVID and end up just fine, okay? Now, some people get the underlying heart conditions, which isn't great, and, like, they have still have trouble, but some people can get COVID and they end up just fine. Jokic is a prime example of that. Marcus Smart is a prime example of that. Russell Westbrook, even though he struggled in the playoffs this year, he's a prime example of that. Rudy Gobert, Donovan Mitchell, all prime examples that you can get COVID and you can be fine. Kawhi has a big foot. He does. Big foot, doesn't have a big mouth. But, that's fine. I just I can't believe that. I'm still trying to wrap my head around this. How Kawhi, by the way, The Heat are 4-0. The Heat and the Spurs are both 4-0 as an underdog. COVID is a hoax, confirmed. Just kidding. COVID almost killed Freddie Freeman. Yeah, but some people get COVID terribly, but some people can get it and they're just fine. So if you get COVID, that doesn't mean like, oh, you can have this sneezing fever. You could just be just fine like this. Frankie, LBJ was still in his prime against rookie Kawhi. No, I know that. That was so long ago. But and they're both great. But if you ask me who's better all time and right now, I give the edge to LeBron. I lost a $100 bet because PG sold. He missed a wide open three. Yeah, sorry about that. Don't bet on the Clippers and don't bet on Paul George. It's just By the way, Bam Adebayo, first to block a game time, go ahead dunk in the final minute of a playoff game since play-by-play began in 1996. Stop playing video games. Look what it does to you. With my eyes, I honestly have not played video games in months. I have not played video games in months. It's just that it's actually a fidget thing that I do. Like I just blink too much. So I gotta calm down. Let me get the fidget spinner. Just calm down, relax, and just. I used to have a thing with my neck. So it used to be with my neck. Now it's with my eyes. I also haven't gotten a lot of sleep. Maybe if I turn the brightness down, that might help. But this computer's hot. I gotta turn that off. Lakers over Celtics. So I have not played video games in a while. I last played it when the pandemic was still going on, or the pandemic is still going on, but like back in July. I guess I haven't played it. Lakers over Clippers 2020. Nets over Clippers 2021. Sure, why the heck not? I mean, Nets over Clippers. I mean, is KD going to be that good next year? And Kyrie, I don't know. Lakers over Celtics. That's probably the most realistic right now. What are the odds right now? So we're gonna go to the FanDuel Sportsbook here, and we're gonna find out the odds for the best team. By the way, it took 40 minutes for somebody to make a comment about my eyes, so I appreciate. I'm glad that it took me that long that no one noticed it. But I'm trying to think here. So right now, what are the NBA odds? Right now, of the four teams, let's see it. I'm imagining the Lakers are favorites because the Lakers have been favorites this whole time. So I'd imagine that the Lakers are favorites here. The Lakers, there's no odds right now. Okay, so they're locked. So we'll find out someday. Nuggets in 7. Raphael watches anime. Here's my anime impression. That's it. It's like no anime. My anime impression is like really close to the camera. That's at least like Pokemon. Just okay. There goes both of my final picks. You had Clippers, Bucks. I think I had it too. But at least we still have the Lakers. You may go ahead and laugh at me now. No. Let's go. Let's turn our heads back and laugh. Look, dude, you were like a lot of people. And just somehow, shockingly, this happened. I am stunned. I am absolutely stunned. Frankie, how's Paul George is professional shooting like that? I don't know. He's something about him. This guy in the playoffs just disappears. Something about him in a big moment. He disappears. He turns away. I don't understand it. I don't get it. But it's rough. It's awful, and it's gonna continue to bother him for the rest of his career unless he figures it out. I had the Raptors either way. Oh yeah, well yeah, that was yeah. I don't know if I would have taken the Raptors coming out of the East at the beginning of the playoffs, but. You did, and they fought hard, but they end up losing to the Celtics here. So Celtics, Heat, Lakers, Nuggets. Boston, Miami, Los Angeles, Denver. As a Rockets fan, I think their blown lead against us in 2015 was worse. I think this is worse. This is the second time, and they were favored. I'm trying to think. In 2015, did anybody ever look at the Clippers as legitimate favorites? And I'm trying to think back on it, and I honestly don't remember. Like in 2015, the Clippers were legitimate threats, but I never looked at the Clippers as like, that's a team that can win it all. Let's look at it now. The Clippers were they were like 9-1. They would never. Yeah, I think everybody thought going in to that playoffs like, okay, the Warriors are probably going to win that. The Warriors are probably going to win. Like, I never looked at them as like, this is worse. I think if they trade, how much they're going to get back for him. They'll get back a point. I can't like tell you like picks. Maybe they'll probably get at least the first round pick back and maybe a solid legitimate player, but. I can't tell you sit there and go, this is how much they, but I also like Doug Rivers, the terrible coach. Check his stat, they always lose game 3-1. Exactly. That's why I think it's time for them to move on from Doug Rivers. I think Doug Rivers is actually a good coach. This is just not the right fit for him. Something in this Clippers environment is not working. And I know he's well respected. I know he's well liked. I know he's professional. Blah, 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 blah. Do they win? No conference finals appearances. Oh my gosh, my voice is shot. My voice is absolutely shot. So we have about 15 more minutes here. So 3-1 twice. Let's go Denver Nuggets all the way. Congratulations to your Denver Nuggets. Shout out to you. I don't know how they did it. I don't know how this team, Jamal Murray, you are a superstar now. Congratulations. I don't know how this team has pulled it off. But the way that they have fought back here, I have been so impressed. This might be the team I'm most impressed with than anyone else. Doc Rivers is an extremely overrated coach. Yeah, I've seen a lot of that on Twitter. Doc Rivers is the most overrated coach in the NBA. He does have a title. He has a ring. But, I mean, as opposed, that's an awful way to lose. And I'm starting to wonder about him. Clippers need Caron Butler as coach. Sure, whatever. I don't know what if the Clippers do get rid of Doc. I don't know. The Clippers signed Jason Giambi on their back. Get Jason Giambi, Mike. Mike, what do you think about Jason Giambi being the new Clippers coach? I'm going to go ahead and say, however, the Warriors in Game 7 against the Cavs will be the biggest. Yes, that's still the all-time number one, and I don't see anybody. I mean, think of all the memes that came from that. Warriors blow a 3-1 lead. Warriors blow a 3-1 lead. Warriors blow that's all-time number one. This is bad, but yeah, I don't think this is going to be number one forever. No, I'm sorry. I don't think this will be up there. It's still a rough loss. Rex Ryan, whatever. You and your obsession with Rex Ryan, I don't get it. Oh my gosh. Of course you got to win with that Sac Celtics team. You should have won more. That's a good point. It's a good argument because they did lose to they lost. I forgot who they lost to in 2009. Did they lose to Orlando in 2009? I think they did. I'm trying to think who they lost to in 2009 because the Celtics played the Magic played the Cavs. So I'm assuming, or did the Cavs beat the Celtics? I can't remember. Why are they not using Boy? I don't know. I'm a casual cause because I really don't know who Jamal Murray was before the season. I knew who he was, but yeah, this is the year I've mostly gotten to take a look at him, and man, he's good. Kawhi should have stayed in Toronto. I keep hearing that, but I keep talking about this, but like Kawhi didn't want to be in Toronto, so he didn't want to go there in the first place. Rex is one of the most underrated ever. No, Cavs lost to Orlando in 9. Okay, yeah. No, but I was thinking like who did the Celtics lose to in 09? I was thinking Cavs lost to Celtics in 10. I was thinking who did the Celtics? Because the Celtics lost to the Lakers in 10. They lost to either Orlando or Cleveland in 09. And then they kept losing, and they were a talented team, but they were never able to get far after the first title. Adam Gase has just got to go. I agree. I totally agree. He's a disaster. Celtics lost to Orlando. Okay, you're right. Bigger than the Thunder being up with KD and Westbrook against the Warriors. Bigger than the Suns getting because of Denver against the Rockets. Warriors getting blocked by LeBron. Yes. That's the all-time number one. Pandemic P. Yeah. Pandemic P. What is it with this guy in a big spot? It just continues to fall. What if LeBron loses in the finals again? I don't know. I'm sick of this whole game. Oh, LeBron losing in the finals. Is he now the best? Oh, does he go down? Like, the fact that LeBron keeps getting into the finals is amazing. So I don't know why we have to keep punching him. Like, LeBron has 3 rings. Who cares about basketball? We got Yankees baseball. And the Yankees were great today. The Yankees, I don't have my hat here. But what a performance today by the Yankees. 20 runs. This team is back. Their offense is clicking again. I'm loving the way this Yankee team is going. Keep it up here, Yankees. Man, this has been fun tonight. Pray to God the Lakers and LeBron lose to the Nuggets. Again, the best story here, I said this, the best story in this NBA playoffs is the Lakers and LeBron's Lakers winning it for Kobe. That is the best story. And you also have Giants and Jets football. I mean, the fun never ends. Both teams are out of it after week 1. You can make finals all you want, but if you lose to 7, that's not GOAT. Like, you play the finals to win. I never said he was the GOAT. I always still think Jordan's the GOAT. I still think Jordan is the GOAT. But this doesn't mean LeBron's not top 5 anymore. His legacy, how is he better than Kobe? 5 beats 3. That's a good point. I just think overall he's bigger, more talented, slightly. Kobe's great too. It's apples and oranges. And Shaq was the main catalyst for those 3 titles, as opposed to Kobe. And Aaron Judge comes back tomorrow. Let's go, and then he'll get injured after game 2. What's up, Frankie? What's up, David? It's good to see you, my man. So we got about 10 more minutes here, guys. We got about 10 more minutes. This has been an incredible live stream. Thank you guys so much for joining us here. We got about 10 more minutes. We'll talk about the Clippers and Lakers and what else you want to talk about, and the Nuggets and the Celtics and the Heat. As this channel continues to grow and grow and grow, Kobe was better than LeBron. LeBron had more MVPs. LeBron was just more of a dynamic player. Kobe was great. Kobe was a great scorer, but LeBron could do more, I feel like. You're not going to be remembered from the time you make the finals. Nobody talks about Jerry West making the finals 9 times because he only won 1, but yeah, LeBron is top 3. That's fair. That's a good point. LBJ is playing in this Cupcake League. Kobe played in MJ. That's unfair. Kobe played at, like, the end of MJ. Like, Kobe played at the very end of MJ. And LeBron, the talent LeBron has played with. LeBron has played with some awesome. I mean, the people he's gone up against Duncan, he's gone up against Dirk, KD, Westbrook, Harden, Curry, KD. LeBron has taken on some of the great. I think the Warriors are the best. The KD Warriors are the best NBA team ever. And the 2016 Warriors team was amazing, and LeBron beat that team. So I think the talent in the NBA right now is pretty great. 1 Jordan, 2 Kobe, 3 LeBron. I go 1 Jordan, and then after that. It's 2 through 4 you can put in some order. I don't know if I could put Kobe in there. I put LeBron, I put Magic, and I put Kareem. And then 5 and 6 you can put either Bill or Wilt. And then maybe Kobe 7. And that's nothing against Kobe. We're just nitpicking here. As for the hockey moment of the night, the Islanders won. Yes! Islanders won! Yes! They're down 3-2. Let's go, Islanders. And congrats to the Dallas Stars on making it to the Stanley Cup Finals. Deep in the heart of Texas, the Stars are shining. I love Kobe and all. Also, RIP, but he's a bit overrated. I mean, overrated in what sense? That, like, oh, he's not the greatest of all time? If that's, then yeah. But, like, he's a top 10 player, a 5-time champion, one of the greats, one of the great leaders. What about Golden Knights? Sorry about them. Islanders are an amazing game winner. Yes, I'm rooting for the Stars, too. I'm rooting for the Islanders, of course, but I don't think they're going to make it. Kyrie Irving should have won Finals MVP. LeBron didn't get the final clutch shot. No, LeBron was the leader in those 3 games, and LeBron made the block, so I think LeBron was the MVP. And LeBron led every statistic. I think LeBron was the leader in every stat in that Finals. KD should have surpassed LeBron, and he didn't. Rangers over the Islanders. I agree, but, you know, right now the Islanders are the one in the Stanley Cup Finals, or the Stanley Cup semifinals. Kobe is my favorite athlete ever, not because he died. He's always been my favorite since I was 6-7 years old. Kobe's one of my favorites ever, and I loved him, and I was really crushed when he died. And that was when I first realized that 2020 was going to be awful. But you know what? In a year that has been awful, it would be great if one of the worst stories of 2020 could come around and end up being one of the most heartwarming stories. LeBron earned that MVP, that Finals. Yes. I thought Anthony Davis was going to be in GOAT conversation, and I was wrong. I mean, yeah, there were seasons we thought, but and he's still great. He's still a great player, but he's not GOAT, and that's fine. You don't have to be a GOAT in GOAT conversation to be a great player. I thought Knights would have won it this year, and now I have Islanders. Go Islanders, but yeah, they got to get past Tampa, and they're down 3-2. But that's the thing in hockey. You can come back from bigger margins. Rangers are New York's team most valuable NFL franchise. NHL franchise, I think you mean. Do you think LBJ's son will live up to his expectations? That is unfair. It is unfair of us to put any expectations yet on LBJ's son. He's, 15, 16 years old. Like, let the kid be a kid. And if he doesn't turn out to be a great player, so be it. He still has his dad's billions of dollars that he gets to live off of. So it's fine. Let's not rush this kid. I'm kind of uncomfortable with all the attention that he got. Not that he's not a good player. He's very good. But, because then I don't want to be disappointed at a young age. Injuries got to Davis, but he's still great. Just imagine, though. I agree. Yes, 4 games to 1 game. Absolutely, yes. In hockey, I feel like it's much more easier to come back from a big margin. I bet LJ. Oh, that's actually really disgusting, and you've gone too far. LeBron, that's one. Actually, no. LeBron's been dating the same woman since high school. Kareem is the GOAT. He has more rings. No, I think it's Jordan. Although you can make an argument for Kareem, but I think Jordan, his competitiveness, his 6 titles all around. I think Kareem has the same number of titles. Kareem either has 5 or 6. But I just think Jordan was better. But again, my all-time 6. So my finals picks out, and the Rockets. I'm back to watching the Titans. You still need the kicker to produce. Yeah, sorry about that. Hey, but you won yesterday. You won. Take that. Yeah, Kareem versus MJ. Kareem will win. I agree, but. In a one-on-one game, yeah, Kareem is just. I think in a one-on-one game, Jordan beats LeBron. I'm sorry, LeBron beats Jordan. Hopefully, LeBron's son doesn't end up like Magic Johnson's son. What happened to Magic Johnson's son? I don't know about this. Johnson's son. Magic Johnson's. Oh, you guys asked about Magic Johnson's tweet. You guys asked about it. Here it is. Here's Magic Johnson's tweet. So here's Magic Johnson's tweets in the last hour. Oh my goodness. The Clippers choked again. They choked against Houston in 2015. They choked tonight against the Denver Nuggets. The Nuggets' 2 superstars, Jamal Murray at 40 points and Jokic with a triple-double, 16, 22, and 13, outplayed and dominated Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, who combined for 24 points. The Lakers will always own Los Angeles. It will never change. Okay, that was a little bit easy. That was actually one of his most loved tweets, was that tweet. The Lakers got to bring their A game to beat the Denver Nuggets. Congrats to the Kroenke family, Coach Malone and staff, the Nuggets players, and the entire Denver Nuggets franchise for advancing to the Western Conference Finals. So yeah, those are Magic's dumb tweets. What happened to Magic Johnson's son here? I got to figure it out. Magic Johnson's son. Oh, EJ? Oh, okay. I'm just gonna leave that alone. I'm not gonna touch that. Me saying it is too far. I don't know. I just feel like he's a kid. We shouldn't touch that kind of stuff, Joe. I thought the Lightning were gonna win tonight, but way to go, Islanders. Frankie, who would you take, MJ or LBJ in Game 7 with the money on the line? They gotta take Jordan, but it's close. Allen Iverson was the GOAT. Iverson was great, but he wasn't the GOAT. Pound for pound, though, he was one of the best. I thought the kids were gonna buy you a steak to eat some salad with fresh cuts. No, please don't. I mean, a lot of women that want to use them, that are thoughts. Oh, okay. Yeah, but fine. But like, he's an underage. We should leave that. I know what you meant, but we should just tread lightly there. It's the Me Too era. We gotta be careful. Let's just enjoy the rest of the playoffs and talk about the GOAT later. I say Hakeem's the most underrated player in NBA history. I mean, yeah, he won those 2 titles when won those 2 titles when LeBron wasn't, Jordan wasn't there. Agreed, bro. Agreed. So this was an amazing playoffs, an amazing final series. Max Kellerman salty. No one cares what Max Kellerman thinks, or you shouldn't care what Max Kellerman thinks. Stop caring what all those talking heads on ESPN think, and make up your own darn opinions. He said Kawhi was going to show up, and he was wrong. Max Kellerman is always wrong. Hi, what's up, Supreme Gamer 99? We're about to wrap things up here, but nice of you to drop in here. He found out, yeah, I wouldn't use those words, but yeah, he picked the Lakers, and I think the Lakers now, they are the clear favorites. I think they should be. And now it's just about finishing the job. Beating Denver here, and then beating the what's his name? Beating Denver, and then beating the other teams here. Beating the Eastern Conference team. Max Kellerman, I want Iguodala. Gosh. Why is he's so irrelevant. He's so awful with his commentary. I can't stand watching him. That was a good game between the Celtics and the Heat tonight. Very good game. One of the best games of this entire playoffs. I don't know if it's the best game, because there have been a lot of great games in this playoffs. But yeah, the level of competition here in this playoffs has been fantastic. And I have enjoyed it so much, and I've enjoyed it thoroughly here. And the bubble has brought out the best in these teams. And now we get to find out. Until later, I got to see who will win the greatest cup in all sports starting next week. I will enjoy that, my man. Enjoy that. And if the Islanders are in there, I'll try to watch a game or two. But the Stephen A. Smith still have a radio show? No, I think he left. I think he it was too much for him. And that's fine. We have too much Stephen A. Smith anyway. He's too much. Is LBJ going to win MVP over Giannis? I think Giannis wins it, but it'll be close. It'll be very close. And whoever wins it, whatever. Stephen A. Smith, that bona fide scrub. I agree, man. I agree. I used to like Stephen A. Smith when I was younger. I used to really enjoy him. I thought he was funny. I thought he was well informed. And then I grew up. I'm trying to see what else here. We got about 2 more minutes here, guys. So again, just final thoughts here. Final things. This was a great ending to the series. I say Lakers in 6 versus the Nuggets. I say Lakers in 7 over the Nuggets. But the Clippers have a lot of questions to ask about how this team choked 3 straight games. This was an embarrassing end here by the Clippers. And as for the Nuggets, a resilient, tough group of kids. And they have fought so hard. Jamal Murray, and you are a superstar. And the Nuggets played so well here over the last 3 games to get to this point. I'm happy for them. Happy for the city of Denver. Sorry that you can't go to the games. Nuggets overrated. How'd they beat my Clippers? How'd they beat them? Because the Clippers were overrated too. And the Clippers stopped shooting. And then I grew up. Quoted for truth. Yeah. It's Doc Rivers. Yeah, Doc is... I think it's time for them to move on from Doc. I'm sorry, Doc. But what an unbelievable end to this Clippers season, which we all thought was going to be in the conference finals. Billy Crystal, I'm sorry. Clippers fans, I'm sorry. You deserve better. You deserve better. And I wonder if Steve Ballmer is going to start getting blamed here. But I mean, I guess he spends the money. It's just whatever. But it's Lakers Nuggets in Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals, and that begins on Friday, and we can't wait. So that's it for now, guys. Thank you guys again so much for watching. If you're new to this channel and you like what you see, make sure you subscribe right down there and click that bell for the latest baseball, basketball, and football content. Every single day we are working on so many things. We're working on home run videos, buzzer beater videos. We're working on prediction videos, touchdown videos. So many things that we are doing here on this channel, and I'm so happy that you guys get to watch all of it. Used to enjoy Skip Bayless when he talked about Tim Tebow. Still love him though. Skip Bayless is a moron. What he said about depression was embarrassing. Frankie, who are you going for? I'm rooting for a good playoffs. I'm rooting for a good finals. When will Alex Smith start? I don't know about that. Who do you like to win the series between Celtics and Heat? I'll give it the edge to the Celtics, but the Heat made me think about it tonight. So we'll be back tomorrow. We'll have a Yankees reaction tomorrow. We'll have a buzzer beater video tomorrow, and we'll have an every home run video tomorrow. Getting proud. Good for you. Could see Bummer by the Knicks. He could. I'd love him to, as opposed to Dolan, but whatever. So yeah, that's it for now, guys. Thank you guys again so much for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'll be back live on Thursday for Celtics Heat Game 1, and then Friday for Lakers Nuggets Game 2. Celtics Heat Game 2 on Thursday, and Lakers Nuggets Game 1 on Friday. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will talk to you guys tomorrow and Thursday I will talk to you on a live stream on Thursday. I'll talk to you doing regular things tomorrow. Congrats to the Nuggets on beating the Clippers in Game